Getting into section 5.2, we're talking about equivalence now. Before we dive into this, I'm just going to do a couple examples to make sure you get what an equivalent is, because this section throws people sometimes. The idea is this. Let's look at a couple of substances. I'll use potassium. Potassium symbol is K, because in Latin it was called kalium. Right next to it is calcium, whose symbol is Ca2+. Potassium's molar mass is 39.10. Calcium's molar mass is 40.08. The idea with equivalence is, if you were trying to react these two substances with something else, it should matter on some level that calcium has twice as much charge to it. It's like this is a stronger reactant, and because of that, you wouldn't need to use as much of it as you would of its neighbor potassium that only has a single charge. Equivalents are how you take that into account, and here's how it works. If you want to find one equivalent for potassium, this is the formula given in the question right here. You take its molecular weight divided by its valence, in other words, divided by its charge. One equivalent for potassium is going to be 39.10 divided by its valence, which is 1. So one potassium equivalent is actually 39.10 grams. That's how much you would have to measure out in order to react with a certain amount of another substance. If you wanted to react it with calcium instead, let's see how much a calcium equivalent is. Calcium equivalent is 40.08 divided by calcium's valence is 2. Because it's twice as strong, the idea is you only need half as much of it. What you can do with 39 grams of potassium, you can do with only 20 grams of calcium, because the calcium is double strength, if you will. It has twice as high a valence. That's what you're doing when you work out an equivalence. You're figuring out, given this substance's charge, how much of it do I need to put in to make this chemical reaction go? Now let's try it with the potassium chloride. It won't be all that different. One equivalent for potassium chloride is its molecular weight, which they gave us, 74.55. And they inform us that its valence is 1. Well, dividing by 1 is not too tough. We find that one potassium equivalent actually is 74.55 grams.